Welcome back once again, guys. For today's video, what I'm gonna be doing, I guess seen on one of my previous videos when I was showing my turbo that I'm gonna be using for a car. Actually, there's a few things I want to change about the turbo, and there's a few things I gotta do to the turbo housing itself to prepare it to go onto the car. So I'm gonna be welding on V-van onto and the outlet on the compressor housing, and I'm also gonna be tapping into the hole for the boost source for the max solenoid. So this is going to be the turbo housing compressor housing that I'm gonna be using on my car. So you can see on the board warner, you have kind of this weird thing right here. I don't really want to put a coupler over it and clamp it down. What I actually wanted to do, I wanted to run some type of like V-van or something. So I want to run some of these right here. It's pretty cheap. You can get them on eBay actually for about like $20, I believe. They work really well. In the inside, they have these O-rings, which will keep your pressure. I'll actually take one of them apart right now and show you guys. I'll take one of these apart and show you how they seal in the inside. So originally, what my thoughts were, I was gonna use a 2.5, and I was gonna weld it right onto the end of it like that. But I just don't really like the way it looks, and because it leaves all of this stuff right here like that. And also, it's gonna have to use an adapter from 2.5 to 3-inch right afterwards. So what I'm thinking I'm gonna do instead, I'm actually gonna run a 3-inch straight out of it. So I might cut this off right here from this way that way. And if we put a 3-inch on it, it almost fits on there just fine. See right there, it's just a little gap. So what I might do, I might actually just go around and throw one bead over this, and then that will get the gap way smaller. I can probably just close in the gap just how it is now, but I want to throw it a little bit more out this way so I don't have to do a really tight weld around here. I could easily do it, but I'd rather not. So I might just throw a bead around here, so I guess this has something to sit on instead of filling in a gap. All you have to do is take these apart. You see there's these Allens. So you take one of them out. That way your shell housing can open like this. And at that point, you have in the inside, you have something like this. Obviously, this one I already pulled it apart, but those seal all together. And you have these O-rings inside that will keep your boost in there, so without leaking. So these are pretty sturdy. Obviously, whenever you're gonna be welding onto something, you actually have these seating surface on here. If you're using a 3-inch, something like this, they will actually fit in there, kind of squeeze them in there. So yeah, just before you weld anything, you obviously want to take these off, as you do not want to melt these. So I think these were run about $20 a piece on eBay. They go by the name of HD intercooler clamps. So they're really inexpensive compared to Vibrant or any other brands that make something similar to this, or the twist on ones, which are pretty cool, but they're pretty spendy. So I went this route, $20 compared to 100 or 120 or whatever they cost. So I'm gonna be using this for this application. So what I'm gonna do up next, I'm actually gonna go ahead and take this one, and I'm gonna start preparing my housing. I'm probably gonna cut this off right here and maybe throw a bead on there so I can get this welded onto there. And then I'll show you guys the process of me welding this up. So I went ahead and I cut off the part that I'm not gonna be using off of the compressor housing. So I cut that off. That's gonna be thrown away. And then what I'm gonna do now, using a stainless steel wire brush, I'm gonna clean off the surface, any surface on here that's gonna be welded onto. So this is cast, especially this. So I'm gonna wire brush it real good on there. Also this, the outside lip, the inside lip, and then the exterior part as well. And then also after I'm done wire brushing everything, I would wash my hands and clean my hands so I don't have any oils or grease on my hands. And also going to be using some microfiber towels. And typically you want to use some acetone. I don't have any acetone, so I'm going to be using some rubbing alcohol. I'm going to be using this to wipe down any surfaces that I'm going to be touching, or that I'm going to be welding, I mean. Just so I don't have any oils or greases on there that could contaminate the weld. And one last thing as well, also the fillet rod that you're going to be using, you also want to wipe it down before you use it, just to get any oils that might be on here as well. And the filler rod I'm going to be using is a 4043. And I believe this is 332nd. Yeah, I believe it's 332nd filler rod. So I'm going to go ahead and wire brush this, and clean everything up. And then I'll show you guys as soon as I start welding. Okay, so this is the final product. I'm really embarrassed of the welds that they came out. I did not like the welds at all. Compared to my little practice that I was doing, that compared to this is just came awful. There's no beat of definition. This is super inconsistent. But I mean, it's gonna hold up the boost just fine. But personally, I'm really ashamed of that weld. But it'll do. I'll have to make up on my rest of my intercooler popping. I'm like do my best I can on that. So I'm definitely gonna have to make up with that. But yeah, this is the housing. It should be good to go. The only other thing I also had to do, if you guys can see these turbos that have these two holes right here, and you might think they're already the hole goes all the way through, but they actually is only the thread, and they're actually canceled out. If you look at that one in there, let's see if I can get it to focus. Enough light. No, it's really hard to tell. But either way, the holes are there, but they're not all the way through. So in this case, this one would be for like so you can know the pressure, not pressure. I mean the wheel speed. If you have a wheel speed sensor on your turbo, and then this one is your boost source for your max solenoid or whatever you're running it. So on this one, it already had the threads on there. So what I went ahead and did, I went and finished drilling the hole through, so I can actually have my boost source line in there, tapped into there. So yep, if you're running a turbo like this, you're gonna have to drill that as well. So yeah, I think for now the housing itself is done. So I can go ahead and put this back onto the turbo and move on to the actual fabrication of the manifold. Okay, so I was trying to make a video on making the turbo manifold, but actually I didn't have any tubing. I have the elbows and stuff like that I'm gonna be using, but I went to the supply store to try to get some tubing, and they were actually closed due to COVID. Not entirely, but their scheduling is different, so now they're actually closed on Saturdays where they used to be open. So I'm gonna have to wait that till Monday so I can get some tubing, so I can go ahead and start on the turbo manifold. So for this weekend, the only other thing I can really work on, as far as the 135i goes, is maybe cleaning up the engine. I might do that tomorrow if the conditions outside are much better. There's a lot of smoke lately. It's a wildfire, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to work on that. And if I'm not able to do that, I might start doing some content on the E30. So on the E30, I got to do a few other things, finishing up some wiring and some intercooler plumbing. So I might go ahead and start doing that and film that for you guys. But yeah, if you guys are new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. If you guys are returning, thank you for that. And yeah, that's gonna be it for you guys today, guys. All right, peace out.